Guys, you're welcome back to my channel, and I'm so excited. Today is actually my second day here in Tamale, and unfortunately my last day, but notwithstanding, I'm going to make good use of today. I have a whole lot of activities planned for this day, and I want to go along with you on this amazing journey. So the first place I'll be going to is the Savannah Center for Contemporary Art, the Red Clay Studio, and wherever my legs takes me. All I know is that I'm going to make good use of today. But before we hop straight into today's video, I want to show you the brain behind my trip to Tamale. We have Dr. Graham over here, who is popularly known as the Hype Doctor. Dr. Graham, please come and let me show you to my fans. Yes.
You caught me off guard.
Yes, yes. So this is Dr. Graham. He is the person who planned my entire trip to Tamale. So anytime you want to visit Tamale or any other place in Ghana, right?
Of course.
Yes,
of course.
he's the right person to contact.
So I am Dr. Emmanuel Smith Graham, aka the Hype Doctor, and we have Yaji visiting Tamale for the very first time. Today is her second day, and we'll be visiting, as she said already, the Savannah Center for Contemporary Art, the Red Clay Studios, and we would also, tour some major streets in Tamale as well. So join us and let's have a good time in Tamale.
I also want to try some of the northern foods.
Oh, of course. You've already tried
TZ. For TZ,
yes.
I've eaten TZ before, so I want to try dishes I've never tried before.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so what kind of dishes do you have here in Tamale?
A whole lot. We have wasa wasa, we have tubani, we have a whole lot of meals. You just open up your stomach to the universe. Today, you will enjoy it.
Okay, I can't wait. So I'll be leaving his contact details in the link down below. Please do well to contact him for an amazing experience. So far, I've been having a great time, and I can't wait to share this amazing journey with you guys. So let's go.
Haji, how many mai? Okay.
En route to the Savannah Clay Center for... Hey, I'm mixing them up.
Yes.
Savannah Center for Contemporary Art.
Yes.
All right. The woman is riding a motor.
Oh, it's normal. It's very. Even children ride motorbikes. As little as.
There is no age limit. Hey. It seems today they are obeying the traffic. Hey, I'm wrong. They are coming.
Well, here's green, so.
No, okay. But so far, how has your experience been like? Claire? Personally, so far, how has your experience been like?
I'm just experiencing yes.
Oh, okay. But you've tried teaser before. Hey!
Okay.
We arrived at the Savannah Center for Contemporary Art, and that was my first time ever hearing about James Bano. I know I'm not the only person who has not heard about him before. So for the sake of those who are just like me, who didn't know about him, I'll tell you about him. He's a Ghanaian photographer who captured moments through the journey of independence, and I was blown away by his work of art and photography. It really tells a story and shows us the journey of how things were like back then. And I was really blown away. Actually, the center was built by Ibrahim Mahama, not our president Mahama's brother. This Ibrahim Mahama is an artist who decided to recognize the works of James Bano. So that's what the center is all about, to exhibit and show the works of James Bano. And his works are really amazing. You can really see yourself in those times. That was the 1940s, before independence and even after independence. You can even really see the journey of how far we've come. And it was really an interesting experience, and we also had the opportunity to also watch his documentary and life about himself till this point. He will actually be 96 years this year. And when we got there, we were not allowed to record inside because we were supposed to sign some forms and all that, and the person who was in charge of it wasn't around. So unfortunately, we couldn't really record much. But we took a few pictures in there, and I'll put them on the screen for you guys to have a look. So let me just give you a sneak peek of how the place looks like. Continue the video. Guys, we are here. Yes. It's really hot out. Wow. Claire, this sun and then Kumasu sun, which one is worse?
Well, there's much difference in it.
Really?
This one is really hits your skin.
It's really hot out.
But I think when you stay here for a long time, you probably adjust. Even though it wouldn't be easy.
Guys, it's really hot. My skin is burning. Wow. We can come in. Okay. I almost fell. Guys, so unfortunately we're not allowed to record in the Contemporary Art Center, but we managed to take some pictures, and I'll be putting them on the screen for you guys to see. But overall, it was a very great experience, and I learned so much. Our next route is to the Red Clay Studios. Let's go. Oh my God, I've never felt this hot, thirsty, and dehydrated before. Immediately we came out of the center, I was so thirsty, I felt so dehydrated, and the only way for us to continue this journey was for us to get something chilled to cool our temperatures down. So before we continued to the next place, which was the Red Clay Studio, we had to stop and buy yogurt because the way the body was waterless, it was so impossible to continue the next journey without having to get something into the system. Not just anything, something chilled. You understand?
Thank you.
Hey.
Sorry for me.
Guys, so let me eat the yogurt small before I talk. It's so hot that we had to buy something to quench our thirst and cool our system down. So we are on our way to the Red Clay Studio. You all are invited. Cheers. And interestingly, almost every family owns a motorbike in the city. And another thing that blew my mind away was the fact that almost every place you pass, you will see a mosque. Look, did you just see the lady driving the motorcycle? Yes, and you would even see kids driving the motorcycles, and I was like, it's normal there. And it was a shock to me because I'm not used to seeing that, so it was something new I ever experienced. And also, I am used to coming across churches almost everywhere I find myself, but this one was a whole new experience for me. Instead of seeing churches, the most popular things I was seeing at almost every corner was mosque. and you know it's a Muslim dominated area, so city. So I was still fascinated because I've not really been at a place where almost every corner you pass you are seeing mosque, and it was a new thing for me and very interesting as well. Guys, I see the Red Clay Studio. Wow, we're almost there.
At the moment, I'm in Tamale.
I'm at the Red Clay Studio. Live. The Red Clay Studio is an artist studio owned by Ibrahim Mahama, and I always thought art to be just paintings and drawing something, but no. Coming to this place, I realized art was more of experiences, real life stories, and it comes with emotions as well. Over here, we're standing right in front of the trolleys that were used during the World War II. People actually lied on these trolleys, and these trolleys really tells a really emotional and deep story. Blood that were shed on these trolleys, the suffering and pain people went through just to fight for their countries or nations. And all these are arts and tells stories. Wow. My eyes just opened to the realization that there is more to art than just paintings and drawings. Art really is a lifestyle. Art really are experiences people have gone through, and art really brings out emotions. And thanks to Ibrahim Mahama, my eyes were open to the beauty and appreciation of art.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Red Clay Studio. Red Clay Studio is a personal studio of the artist Ibrahim Mahama. I don't know whether you're familiar with him. Yeah, not John Mami's brother.
Yeah. Please, before you continue, can you introduce yourself? We want to know who we are working with. Okay.
So it's an artist studio, but it runs like a cultural institution, something like a museum, but it's not a museum. It's a studio space. So here he has some of his permanent collections here. These are medical stretchers from the Second World War. So between 1939 to 1945, most of these stretchers were used to carry like injured women, bodies and other things. And also because we are connected to some of these histories. We fighting for the British during that war. They promising pensions, they build houses and other things. After the war, nothing. Which sort of led to the 1948 route. Which sort of led to the 1948 route, the killing of the ex-servicemen and all that. So these are like memories that came along with all these issues. So he got the original ones from Greece, but he didn't buy them as for their functionality. He bought them as bodies in the sense that something like this still contains like the actual blood stains and everything. So these are like DNA, like an extension of the body. So he bought them as bodies of these individuals, not for their function. Obviously, this can't be used to carry anyone. Yeah. So once you see this stretchers massively distributed like this in time and space, you begin to like grab the gravity of whatever happened, the horrors, the memories and other things. People, let's say someone's died for once the person comes in, it triggers certain emotions.
Yeah.
So emotions are like
Attached to it.
some of them are also replicas. Like this very one. These are the the trampoline fabrics, the ones they use for the banners. These are the very ones the mechanics use. So with time, the question of time, with time, how many residues of engine oil this material has to endure to become something like this. Yeah. Also using some fabrics from the fishmongers, the ones they use to smoke the fishes and everything. So we also realize that with time, we also gains residues of the oils from the fish, the blood, the smells and everything. So it all becomes part of the work. So he doesn't really, anthropocentralize these things, like looking at humans at the center of all. Within the world, not only humans lost their lives, lands were destroyed. So looking at in relation to everything, how everything is interconnected, like the aquatic systems, the land itself, humans, animals, and other things. That comes along with it.
A quick question. What is its impact on psychological health? Because as you said, if someone's dad 40 minutes and then he comes around, it may trigger PTSD. So
yeah, I think that's right. But I haven't talked about it in that sense. But that's right. Once people come to trigger certain emotion, maybe the person's dad fought and everything. But look, that's what I would say. That's what art is supposed to do. Art has to move you in a sense that not only like in relation to like PTSD and everything, like your emotions have to be moved. The work of art, like a painting. Once someone sees a painting, it triggers like Ibrahim, for instance, is from a painting background, so he sees something like this as a painting, but in an abstracted form, in the sense that even within that same period of the war, if an artist was to produce, let's say, a portrait, this would have been the same material. He or she would stretch on the canvas to make maybe a portrait of it. But now the blood stains have already like done everything. These are like paintings. Paintings in an abstracted form, representing like. So we also have this large-scale drawing, which has to do with the trains coming into the Gold Coast. See, these trains came into the Gold Coast for like one reason, to transport minerals and resources. They transport them to the coast, they ship them to Europe and other places. But the manual labor for the construction of these railway lines in the south, Accra, Kumasi, Takoradi, came from the north. So they came in from the north. The north wasn't part of the Gold Coast. So they came in for the northerners to do the manual labor for these jobs. But railway lines never existed in the northern part of Ghana. Trains never came here. So he as an artist who comes from here now bringing back most of the trains that were used into the northern parts now opens up new possibilities. In a sense that now the kids get to see a train. Even adults, most of them, the people who haven't been to the south before haven't seen trains. But now it becomes like a possibility for you to actually experience, not only in movies or in a textbook that you can see these things. So when he brings the trains, he also sort of reenact history with it. In the sense that he also hires the labor from the north. But this time they're independent human beings, so they get paid for it. They have the opportunity to complain. Maybe the metals are heavy, they can't carry it and other things. Sort of repeating history but in a different way. This process you see actually happened. They tying ropes around the train, pulling it manually from the edge. They getting paid for it, repeating like the same processes. So the guys who would have been in the gym and everything, he goes there, he brings them into the studio to carry like these metals. The background is made out of production orders from GIHOC. GIHOC is Ghana Industrial Holding Corporation, which Kwame Nkrumah built. But after the coup, most of these GIHOC companies were abandoned. GIHOC is like a mother company. They used to have like the paints division, the shoe factories, the Bosso glass factories, the tomato factories and everything. But the only GIHOC that still exists now is the GIHOC distillery. Ibrahim sort of revisits some of these factories, collects the remains, like some of these things, make artworks out of them. Because he as an artist is interested in the idea of failure and also crisis, but as a starting point for new possibilities. So like what Nkrumah was trying to start, which he couldn't achieve, he used that as a point of departure to produce that.
The whites also brought trains to Gold Coast for one reason, that is to export minerals. And on bringing these trains, they went to the northern part of Ghana to bring them to make the railways. So they used the northerners for the manual labor in constructing the railways for the trains. And majority of those in the northern part of Ghana have never seen these trains or railways before because it wasn't done over there. So Ibrahim Mahama, again as an artist, has put this into art and even made railways and brought some of these trains into the northern part of Ghana so that those who are living there would have an experience and a feel of how trains look like and how these railways were even made or how they look like, because they were the people who were used as manual labor for these railways for the trains to move on. Wow.
Artworks to represent that memories, that history, and other things. And some of the abandoned furnitures would then be used to produce some of these Shushan boxes. Some were reconstructed into boxes. But he actually collected over 4,000 of these Shushan boxes. So the work, this installation is titled the Non-Orientable in Cancer. Non-Orientable in Cancer. In Cancer here is a name of one of the Shushan guys who helped Ibrahim to collect the boxes.
Oh, okay.
So orientable in the sense of an orientation of like different materials coming together to form the installation.
Okay.
So he collects these boxes and he produces works out of them. These boxes sort of represent the labor these guys go through. See, they could like work for the entire day, moving around communities, sewing and polishing people's shoes, another thing, just to make a living for themselves and their families. Some ideas of, let's say, migration. So the box sort of embodies the ideas of like labor, identity. You realize that he collected lots of these boxes. The banana is like exactly identical to each other. Each box is like unique in its own way.
Yeah.
I would say each box tells a different story about the person who used to, the owner. You understand? So it represents some aspect of the economy. Because you realize that even as little as a brush, polish, whatever they buy, there's tax involved. It forms part of the bigger picture. But we have, I don't know, have you been here before?
No, first time.
First time I stayed there. So just last month we took it down. This version, this type of boxes, these are Brazilian boxes. Took down the work that was here and recomposed them with the Brazilian ones to produce this work. So you open up the work, you just like experience both works at the same time. He has about 6 versions of this work. There's one in New York, Miami, Holland. This version was in Brazil. And also he had this work, the first version actually sold for like $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah, that was what he used to start buying like the lands.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Also introduced certain elements like the crates, the fish crates used to store fishes from the coast to the market spaces. These are made out of broken down canoes.
Oh, okay.
And cupboards from schools, the fire armory from Gihok Paints Division. Some of these ones are also from the Gihok, the furniture and other things. Metal shavings from the factories.
See the cupboard to the
The other versions in other spaces in Europe and Europe, once they see a cobweb or a spider, they shut down the whole museum. That's the difference between some of these things.
Yeah.
Once you see maybe a mole or a cobweb in the museum space or a gallery space, they shut down the whole place. But here we live with them.
Yeah. It's all part of the art.
It's part of the art. We also have this photographs. They were taken by one of Ghana's prominent photographers. He's called James Bano. He's a 95-year-old photographer. He was Kwame Nkrumah's personal photographer.
I see.
Also the first Ghanaian to shoot in color. So he introduced colored photography into the Ghanaian photography scene. So he will turn 96 this year, but he now lives in London.
Oh, okay.
This was a commercial he did for the Ajib Gas company.
Yeah,
it's an Italian company, which I think they transitioned into Goro. And also, we have this was also after the period Ghana was transitioning from driving on the left to the right. Okay. The pictures were taken in 1973. So between 1973 to 4th August 1974 was when we moved from driving on the left to the right. Yeah. And also, once we gain independence, women also gain the right to take equal pay when they are doing the same job with the male. So James Bond used her as a model to portray some of these ideas. So you see here on the mining tracks, on the steam engine trains and other things, performing sort of this manly tasks and other things. It also showed how Ghana was moving in terms of industrialization. At this period, Ghana was like way ahead of our time. Lots of trains, infrastructure, factories and now, we also have this painting. It's a painting, but not in the sense of like a traditional way of painting, like brush on canvas painting. It's made out of the African print, what we identify as African print. By looking at this fabric historically, it has nothing to do with Africa. Yes. It's actually started in Indonesia. The Indonesians started with the wax paints, the batik and everything. The Dutch colonized the Indonesians. So they took the whole idea and industrialized it because of the Industrial Revolution. So we came in contact with these fabrics as part of like the transatlantic slave trade. That's how come they introduced it into the West African market, which now sort of identifies us as Africans. So looking at it in relation to how it has influenced, let's say, our fashion, our customs, our tradition. Even now within marriage ceremony, this is like a very important part of the whole ceremony and everything. Yes. So it was later that companies like the GTP, the Kosomo Textiles, started introducing the leading class symbols, the proverbs, which now most of these ones are identified by names. Yeah. So when you hear the Hollandians and other things, these are the Dutch things. Even with the GTP, the Dutch still have shares within there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. It's a bold culture, but we added upon, in the sense that maybe when the Dutch came up with, let's say, these patterns, most of the women here can't relate to this one. So probably something like this would do. Something like this, the broom, the one with the broom, and then so they show what they want to be introduced into the fabric. So they go back, do that, resell it to them, and everything. So it has been added upon. And these are the rocks that came into so the Europeans brought these rocks in the 18th century to build the forts and the castles. These ones were brought from Jamestown. The same one they used to build the John Wesley Methodist Church. It's one of the oldest churches in the 18th century. So they used these rocks, they brought it from Europe to build the churches. The churches and also the castles and the forts. You can even, when you look at this rock, you can see that it used to be the rock was there. Later, another material like the cement was introduced. A layer of paint was also introduced later. So they took down some of these buildings. So Ibrahim also sent guys there to collect like the remains of the space. These are from the 18th century. So we also have this photograph. This is a photograph of a headquarter, the Kai people who work on these places. You realize that they have these tattoos on their arms. These tattoos are like biodata that they move around with. So in the past, when they used to like migrate from, let's say, the north to the south, they didn't own ID cards. So what they did is they write their names, where they are from, or relatives' names. So in case of any tragedy, they could actually trace their bodies back to their families. So these were done for identification purpose, not fashion, nothing. It was strictly for identification. In case so that they can actually identify their bodies back to their families in case of any accidents. There used to be a lot of accidents in there. We have this is a mask. It was used by hunters. So they wear them with the costumes. They mimic the sounds of these animals to lure them. So like the hunting strategies that are used to hunt. To either to capture or kill these animals. And various versions of the lanterns. Most of us are used to these ones. We also have these are slippers. The train slippers used in making the railway lines. So when he bought the trains, he also transported some of the slippers that way. Some of the slippers are more than 100 years old. Even this type of food, you won't get them anywhere.
Wow.
It was influenced by the photographs here are influenced by the works of James Banner, the photographer we spoke about. Yeah. And it's a photo reportage from 16 regions. So we have like each artist from one region representing his works within the inspiration of like the James Banner's works and other things. Each work here has like a different story to tell. Some interested in photo documentation of festivals and other things. Some are interested in like the facial expressions, the emotions they portray within the photography and other things. Yeah. So you can use like a minute to like go through the works and I'll show you other spaces. But when someone travels, when a person is coming back,
This one is how fit inside.
comes along with something like this. We also have like the chop box. You know the chop box.
That one is popular.
We have the
Yeah, I will not relate because
I used to use a chop. Me now.
the biscuit.
Nah, we went with chop boxes.
we also have like the helmets from the Second World War.
Oh, okay.
Some exercise books from schools, different schools. These ones are not all that old. They're collected in 2013.
Oh, okay.
But even from 2013 to present day, it's a lot of change. For example, like even the map here, there's not Ghana anymore. Those are like the 10 regions. Ghana has even changed from just this. And just imagine for like 20 or 50 years to come, most of these things won't even be studied in schools. Everything will be like AI.
Yeah.
These are to preserve some of the things we used to learn. And other documents like trade reports, the box irons, this is stove, fire torches by the blacksmith, the telephone. And the older version, this is the older version, this is 5 separate ones. But the ones we use now are 7. That's a jet engine.
You said that's a
It's a jet engine.
jet engine, okay.
Used by, which it was donated to the institution by Ibrahim Mahama, John Mohammed's brother, to the artist Ibrahim Mahama, or to the institution. It's here for like those interested in what makes a plane fly,
Okay.
to research on like, because you realize you can go to an airport or you can pick a plane like about 100 times, but you never be allowed to go place. The engine, unless maybe the plane belongs to you.
Oh, okay.
But once it's here, it becomes a safe space for you to actually find out. Some collections of smokes. Some of these smokes are like 100 years old. What makes them different? The cottons that were used to produce them were grown in another part of Ghana. But the ones we use now, we import most of the yarns from China. So that's lost that like originality.
Yeah.
And also most of these ones, they were 100 years old. They've been transferred from like generation to generation. So most of these people are attached to these smokes in terms of spirituality. So they can't just give it out to you. Before they give it out to you, they have to perform certain rituals to detach. Like let's say for instance, the ones collected from the chiefs. The ones the chiefs wear, there are a lot of talismans. You can't just wear it. You can't even hold it. Yeah. So these rituals have to perform for you to get access to them.
And what did it take for them to hand it over to you guys?
Yeah, you have to like perform rituals.
And just give it out just like that, irrespective of the attachment they have with it.
Yeah, they did perform certain rituals to detach themselves. So now when they give it out, you can't give it back to them. Yeah, some had to pee on it, some had to do other like weird stuff to it.
And aside that, was there any monetary incentives?
I'm sure. But most of these people, mostly he collected them mostly from the villages, like chiefs and stuff. They would definitely want like
Money.
something in return. Yeah, these are also like some old sets of instruments.
It looks very heavy. Oh, it's my eye.
A little bit. These are brass, so it's not all that heavy.
Hey.
The gramophones, the record players.
Yes. And what is this?
This is a work of art. It was produced by a South African artist. It's called Rap Boland. The work is titled The Black Star Liner. The Black Star Liner, it was inspired by, have you heard about Marcus Garvey before? It was inspired by the works of Marcus Garvey. See, Marcus Garvey was like a human rights activist. He was a human rights activist, and also like the president for the Negroes, like the blacks. He had this shipping company called the Black Star Liner that was meant to transport the Negroes back to Africa because of all this racism, the segregation, and other things. He was a Jamaican. So the artist which produced this work was inspired by Marcus Garvey. The work is built like a spaceship, but the inside is like a musical instrument. Rap Boland is also a DJ. So he produced it like something like a xylophone. He was supposed to produce different sounds. The sounds go through a whole electrical system, moving between we have like amps, the mixer boards inside, and also a inbuilt speaker.
Oh, okay.
So it was supposed to produce like dub music. With a very loud dub music. That music is like a subgenre of reggae, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not complete. The work is not completed. Even the ideas of Marcus Garvey influenced even the Black Star. The Black Star in the Ghana flag was inspired by Marcus Garvey. There's a propeller
Hey, Amos, the place is really huge. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm dehydrated.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a classroom. Or it's just a work of art?
Yeah, it's an installation, but it looks like a classroom. It also looks like a factory for mass production.
Yes.
Like something that is dead, a dead body, which most of these things were literally dead.
Oh, okay.
It says that like blackboards are fading out of the system. These old DEX models are also fading out of the system. So he actually collaborated with scrap dealers to acquire about 2,000 of these machines.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he says much interested in the sound that the machines produce because of their rusted nature, not for their functionality, because obviously these machines can't work anymore. Also collecting these DEXs from various schools and replacing them with new ones. These DEXs are British DEX models that were introduced into our formal education system. So all the memories that these DEXs hold, like I was here some
Yes.
graffitis and everything. So just imagine if these DEXs, if materials have souls within them, imagine if these DEXs could speak. Especially if he has like a history of a torture. He was tortured with some of these things. Even the blackboards. People who had to like clean them with the bashing and everything.
There's no key pass for that.
Yeah, you understand each and everything. Like,
Blackboard perfect.
yeah. So all these memories, blackboards collected from like various schools and replaced with like white marker boards. As of the time he was collecting them, this was actually what was being taught. Okay. Yeah, so he decided to leave them like that to portray this kind of formal education. What we learn in our classroom schools. You see, even the space, it's a class. It's also like a factory for mass production. Once mass production comes into the conversation, you begin to think about the Industrial Revolution. That's why in its own self, the Industrial Revolution also built on the backs of, let's say, slaves and other things. So all these histories are like interconnected in a way.
No, I'm about to break a record.
These things are
So there are some people
Inside.
They come down.
Okay.
Let's talk about it before.
Okay.
It's an Antonov. It's Russian.
It's a what?
Antonov.
Antonov.
The model. It's a Russian plane model. I think Antonovs have like some of the biggest planes in the world.
The what?
Some of the biggest planes in the world.
Oh, okay.
They have one. But this one was produced around the Second World War. It was used to transport barrels of fuel and other things. I think it flew across about 9 countries before it got to Miami. So the plane was sold in Miami. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Guys, I'm about to break my record at the Red Clay Studios. This is my first time ever going to climb a plane. And I'm so I don't know how to feel. I'm feeling bittersweet. I said, I drink the yacht. You're frozen. Hey, unless you carry me, you need one day.
No problem.
But we need afraid. Guys, wish me luck. Hey, so which antique skills we use to climb this thing?
2 of us have to help you because I'll be inside.
And Clement is also holding the camera.
Okay, hold it out to me. So then I'll
let me carry it.
Hey, which approach will you use to carry? Hey, so you.
That's ABCD.
Yeah, that's fine.
Wow. So is it this is how when the plane is taking off? This is how it will be like. Okay, then I will cry, Papa. Wow. Guys, I'm in the plane. Wow.
AC inside. I'm seeing AC remote.
Wow, this is amazing. Guys, I seem to be having a mixed feeling about ever climbing a plane. Even just in here, I'm feeling dizzy. How much more when I sit in a real plane?
Transform the person who wants to transform it.
Claire, what do you think?
This is something.
No, I was saying.
So we learn ICT. We teach the
Guys, I just took an extensive tour at the Red Clay Studios, and I must say I'm really blown away by the beauty of art over here. And the place is very, very huge. As you can see, I'm currently standing on the railway with some trains over here. Actually, some of the trains still do work, and I think the idea is for them to make a railway around the studio so that we can also have hands-on experience on how trains actually moves and works. But overall, I'm really impressed by the beauty of nature and of art in itself. It's like we are revisiting the past in the future. But I hope you guys enjoy this little experience I had here at the Red Clay Studios. Even though I know you weren't here with me, but I believe you also felt the impact of the beauty of art over here at Red Clay Studios. Guys, so after the extensive tour at the Red Clay Studios, it was now time to eat. And you know, at the beginning of this video, I said my entire stay at Tamale, I'll be eating their local foods only. But my visit to Tamale was wrong. I mean, the timing was very wrong. I went when they were celebrating the Salah. So getting their local foods was very difficult or nearly impossible to get. And tell me why I didn't follow Clement and Dr. Graham to buy the fried rice they ordered. Because I was on a journey to try something new, I decided if I wouldn't get their local foods to eat, then I'll try Indian food. My dear brothers and sisters, just watch the outcome of me trying Indian food. I wouldn't tell you how it went, but you just watch the video. Guys, so I was planning to eat something local over here, like something like wasa wasa, tubani, foods I've never tried before. But unfortunately, my timing here to Tamale was not right. They are having their eat, so all those foods were not available for me to try. But then I decided to try something different, something I've never tried before. So this is an Indian cuisine, an Indian food called chicken biryani. So I'm about to try it. Hopefully it tastes nice, else sikana shit. Taste testing. The lighting is terrible. hot too.
Hot. How about that?
I think I chewed something like spices. Hey, I don't know if my tea is inside. There are some small even inside, like seeds. It tastes like herbs, like natural spice.
That's it.
Something like that.
What was what you do?
Oh, what is this? A bone. This one there is like a baby drew. Like there's some seeds inside. It's like spice. It's like herbal.
And then what? I'm going to tell you about the top I do. I'm not about to tell
Let me try this one. This chateau is it? I don't know me. This chicken biryani here, I know they see top.
That's my only if you do not come to still.
Oh, but it's still some make me
What are they for?
maybe.
What's the name of that?
When on getting here, I say they are seeds. Woman, I say, means for me, Sunny.
Carry beside.
Now we go there and yeah.
Oh, that'd be right. You're cool.
Go there, you're
Never decide here, but.
Give them a name, you go over your money.
I don't know who's going to boom.
Some herbs. Means I have say. I
India.
know.
Never have said it. I don't know.
So be ready.
I'm trying to say.
What's it?
I'm trying to say my phone.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Never know me.
French. Make out the fried rice now.
Okay.
When you look on,
Upon us all, I want him. But you didn't come on that. My papa will never do it more than a month. Soon after.
What do we bring? Riding young men.
Soon after.
What do you call a